What up, y'all? Wait, what's the cool way to do it? Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Let's get going on this lovely, finally stopped raining Florida afternoon. Afternoon, morn. Who we got here? What, Jeffrey is here. Who is it? Oh, Barry. Barry, we got to stop meeting like this. Barry and I were just chit-chatting on Facebook messages. Is this the highlight? This is the highlight of my Sunday. You know, it's the highlight of my Sunday as well, Jeffrey. Ramiro is here. Hello, Mike. Here in the... Oh, you got a front row seat. What? Lyle is here? Who are you? Lyle, it's funny. I was thinking about you the other day. I was going through some emails. I was emailing some people back, and I saw one of your old ones. I'm like, I've not seen Lyle in a while. I just did it. Lyle in a while. It's good to see you. Been a long 2 months. Hey, missed you. Of course I missed you. Radios is here. Are you going to miss it again? Let me see. I'm going to film right as... Oh, nice. You have to work, Radios? Usually you're working. Mike is here. Hello. Russell is in our presence. So is Nisi. You have rain there, right there. You're in Kansas, right, Mike? Well, you guys got... We had our share, believe it. About 10 inches in 4 days. Flooding everywhere again. Jeffrey... What's up, Mike in the house? I'm in the heezy. I would absolutely never make a good rapper. I mean, I got some good rap songs, but I'm just not a good rapper. My wife thinks I'm a good rapper, but only Christmas gifts. Oh, she just chimed in. She said, yes, you really do rap well. I'm hoping everybody's having a great day. It's been crazy busy for me. Gordon is here. Hello, Gordon. Try living in the UK. Rain is our default. It sounds like Florida, honestly. It rains about half the year, and it's extremely hot and humid the other half. Well, hot and humid all year. Going to be a fun one. I have a couple of cameras that we're going to take a closer peek at. I've done full breakdowns and reviews of both of these cameras, but we're going to have a little fun with them today and do some more breaking them down. We're going to kind of compare the two. They're probably the two best cameras currently in my 16mm stable. So we're going to have fun kind of breaking them down, seeing what they can and can't do. Barry says, I'm a good rapper at Christmas time. Oh, yeah. Grandkids are visiting, so yeah, it's pretty cool. That's awesome. Awesome, Mike. I'll film my phone with you talking for a few seconds. That'll be interesting. Only if I'm allowed to show it later. Russell says the UK is like living in a Tupperware with a gray lid, and I love it. As much as I like to complain about living here in Central Florida, I really do love it. I've been here since 1977, I think. I don't remember the exact year. Sometime between 76 and 78, my dad moved my brother and I here around then. My parents divorced when I was relatively young, about 8. My dad remarried in 78 right here in Florida, and I was here for that. And I think it was here about a year prior to that. And they are still happily together to this day. I'm using 200T, Canon 814 auto zoom. Good choice and good choice. Indoors, outdoors? Hopefully indoors with some extra light. Couple things very quickly. Oh, I didn't bring the stuff over here. I was going to show you. I'm working on a brand new Aeroflex 16S battery. Been in Fort Lauderdale since '52. Holy mackerel. Wow. That's a little bit longer than I've been around, Barry. But I was born in Florida. Panhandle of Florida. Fort Walton Beach. Russell says, super excited about the Arri S. My favorite camera that I own. I mean, I know that would probably change if I had some of the other cameras that are on my list. But I'm still struggling to get my 4K multi-format film scanner that I paid for 20 months ago. We're going to leave it right there. Anyway, live stream next Sunday, unfortunately, will be canceled. I can tell you that right now. Next Sunday is my oldest daughter's birthday. So we will be having some birthday fun all day on Sunday. And it's the last day before they go back to school because they have the Thanksgiving break off. So there'll be no live stream next Sunday. Let's get it all out this week. And like I said, I have a brand new battery pack I'm working on. In fact, I'm going to grab it real quick. I want to show you. Try not to bump the camera. I don't know if you guys can hear my kids screaming in the bedroom back there. Whoa, that almost got ugly. I'm working on a new pack for my 16S. We're going to get into the current packs that I use now that I built. But the new one I'm excited about because way higher milliamps and they're sub-C batteries. So they are beefier batteries, so they should last a lot longer. So this stream will be 7 hours. 7 hours, maybe not quite. Close, but not quite. Steven is here. Hello, Steven. Steven, did you check out that film? Like I say, you know, first of all, you're going to get 90. You're not going to get professional results from me, you know that. And 16 millimeter really is not my forte, but it's okay. I thought it came out okay, but it's definitely not. Steven sent me some film, New World film there, to process some double perf 16 millimeter 500T, which we don't know where it came from. I found an edge code on it that is unidentified, so we don't know what year it's from or whatnot. He got it from FPP, but anyway, I thought it came out reasonably well for home processing and home scanning, but it's great, Mike. I like the look fine. Okay, good. Thank you, Steven. But like I say, it's not perfect, but he did a good job filming. I just, you know, the processing and scanning. I'm still in the home processing stage of my life. Here's my new pack. Check this out. So let me show you guys something. I'm gonna skip ahead here a little bit. You guys remember this if you follow my channel. My Aeroflex takes 8.4 volts. That's what it runs on. Some of them are 12. For the most part, they're 8.4. So I made this. It's my battery packs. And I made these packs myself. I just bought these project boxes. I just bought this little hard case at Harbor Freight for like 13 bucks. And I buy these little plastic project boxes, took it apart, and I filled it with batteries and electronics and wires and things and solder and heat shrink. And I put a 4-pin XLR input here, an on-off switch here, and then the little 2.1 millimeter plug here for charging. So I can charge it through here. You technically could charge it through here, but I like this plug easier. It's just the wires are a lot smaller for charging. And then I had to change the end out on this. These are Tenergy brand. These are good little chargers, but I had to they're for radio control cars, but I just had to cut the end off. It has that weird input for the RC cars, and soldered and heat shrinked on my own 2.1 millimeter plug, and I charge it at 1 amp, which is really all you want to use. It just plugs into the side there, and I charge these batteries. Now these batteries are 2 amp, so 2000 milliamp AA size batteries. It takes 7 of them, and they're 1.2 volts each. That's 8.4 volts. Take my word for it. I'm not going to do the math right now. Problem is, they run fine, and this one's charged up, and we're going to show you in a few minutes. But the problem is, they don't last quite as long as I would like. The milliamp isn't there. They're just not a beefy enough cell. There isn't enough. What what is this stuff in there? The electrons inside the battery to keep it running for as long as I would like. It'll run about a 400-foot mag, one of these batteries, and about 4 100-foot single rolls. Somewhere around there. It might actually get 5 because I'm not running the torque motor when you do the 100-foot loads. You're filming your... Oh, you told me about your grandma's 90th birthday. That's awesome. You just filmed your granddad's 100th birthday. Wow. Give me some of them family genes. Barry, the largest format that the new scanner that may or may never show up will scan is 35 millimeter. Happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday to your grandmother, Radios. It's great, Mike. I like the look. Fun. Oh, I already read that. Fancy. Yeah. So anyway, what chemistry are those? They're nickel metal. Yes. My first pack, I have one of these. This is my 3 batteries they're my primaries. My first one was a 1000, I think, or 1200 milliamp NiCad. And it worked okay, but it really didn't last very long. So I went to nickel metal, and I used the nickel metal charger. So these are the current packs, and this is what I will be working on next. This is 8.4 volts. This will be 8.4 volts. 2200 milliamps. Whoa. 4800 milliamps. Maybe that's overkill. I don't know. But I'm going to try 4800 milliamps, and these are sub-C size batteries. So they're bigger, obviously bigger than a AA. They're a little tiny bit smaller than a C battery, but I think that's why they call them sub-C. They are also nickel metal, but like I say, they're 4800. Right? Yeah, 4800 milliamps, which is 4.8 amps of juice. Still going to be 8.4 volts, but we'll see how well that works out. I'm going to run hopefully a couple of 400-foot mags with that battery, maybe 3, something like that. If it works, I'm going to make a few of them and get a bigger case, and I don't know, either use this one for backup or sell it or something like that. I don't know yet. So keep an eye out if you're interested in Arri 16S battery packs that hopefully have much better juice. But I like these. I put the on-off switch on the pack because the Aeroflex 16, most of these old Aeroflex cameras, you turn them on and they just run. I like the on-off switch because then I can use this as my remote. Turn the camera off and on, just leave it on, and then use this to power it off and on. Make sense? Yeah, not to me either. My cousins, aunts, and uncles are here. Awesome. Hey, Certain Exposures is here. Am I late to the party? That coffee cup looks low. It's getting low. I've been drinking it. Can you see it in there? Yeah. This is a new coffee for me too, by the way. It's a, I usually drink Dunkin'. I'm boring. This is Faro, one of my local shops here. It's like a produce market. They sell all kinds of cool coffees. So I decided this is an organic, a responsible coffee. It's 12 ounces of Faro coffee. It's their medium blend. I am not a coffee spokesperson. It's organic, and it's only $5 for 12 ounces. And it's good. It's very good. It's a little rich. It's got some richness to it. Arri S? Yes, an Arri 16S right here. We're going to get into that in 1 second. How long do they take to charge? Do you have an indicator? There is an indicator, yes. That's a good question, Jeffrey. Hey, Rimjet's here. Hello. There is an indicator on the charger. And the battery has to be turned on. The little on-off switch has to be on. 8.4 volts, yes. And you see that's exactly what they are. And there's an indicator, look up here at the top. There's a red light and a green light. The green light means it's full, the red light means it is charging, and it works just fine. I just charged 2 of those batteries up right before my stream. Bonnie, you're not the first one here? You know what? Yeah, everybody just shame Bonnie. Please don't, she's awesome. Bonnie, it is quite all right You know what you did? You just made up for all the times I was late. Whoa, Rimdred. Yeah, I know. It's a great username, isn't it? I am the bane of all home developers. You are. Damn you. Okay, so let me put this battery pack away. This not yet made battery pack. Because I want to show you guys some stuff. And I wrote down a couple of notes here. And I guess I'm going to have to move them if I put these cameras over here. Mike, missed so much. Any updates on the Super 8 Fest? You know, good question. No updates as of right now. You know, I do want to do that fest really badly. I was just thinking about it a couple days ago. I've just been so busy. I'm trying to balance so many things in my life right now. This YouTube channel consumes about 30% of my entire personal life. Mola, hello, how are you? And on top of that, I have 2 daughters, a wife, a dog, a lot of work that I do outside of YouTube, and it just gets tough sometimes to try to put everything together, but I'm doing my best and I'm getting caught up. I had like 5 people send me stuff this week so far to process. I had one lady sent me over 2,000 feet of film, so there's a lot of things going on right now, but I do want to still do it. It's definitely on the burner, on the middle burner. CJ is here. Hey Mike, been here for a few, starting to get ready for work, so I'll be in and out of the chat. Everybody say hello to CJ. All right. Do I start with the Aeroflex or do I start with the CP-16? Now this is sort of like, they're both the same format, but we are kind of comparing apples to oranges because they're just so insanely different. Was filming with my 514 XL with my brother, film ran out, had to find another camera and charger. Wait, film ran, oh, you had to use a different camera. Oh, those 514s are so awesome. But it only lasts 3 minutes, your film. So, okay, so let's start right here, because it's right in front of me. For those that don't know, this is the Aeroflex 16ST. Now, there's a 16S and there's a 16ST. From what I gather, I had an ST about 25 years ago as well. This is an ST. There really is no difference between the two. At one point, I thought that there was one of the mounts, one of the lens mounts was a turret or something, a different mount, but that's not the case. I think they just changed the name at some point. I don't know if ST stands for standard, because the Arri 16S, it uses the Arri standard mount. I'm not sure, but this is the Arri ST, and you can tell by looking at the serial number because it says ST right in front of the serial number. I want one really bad. You know, Russell, I've wanted one of these ever since I sold my first one and never shot any film with it. I wanted one of these just as bad, and I finally found one, and the guy gave me a great deal. I paid $1,900 for everything you see in front of you, including the lenses, about, I don't know, a couple years ago. Saw a history of the CP-16s. Fascinating. It is fascinating what they went through. I respect your honesty. I knew a while back you're a busy man. Maybe this summer. Were you here, Lyle? Did you ask me a question? Mike, missed so much. Oh, you mean about the fest. I was going to say, I know you, did you make it over here? I thought you were coming to the States, but I don't remember if you actually made it or not. I'm just glad I didn't miss it. I'm glad you didn't either. Just noticed little Clark Griswold. Clark on a shelf. My sister-in-law, I have an older brother. He's 18 months older than me. His wife got, my brother and I quote movies constantly back and forth, but that's one of our favorites, and she just sent that to me. That's the only Christmas decoration we actually have up right now. My brother met Chevy Chase and had the opportunity to talk to him for a while and stuff, and said he was a super nice guy, and he did magic. My brother's a magician, and he did magic for him and whatnot, but this is Clark.
A lot of sap in here. Just the season to be merry.
Anyway, I love Clark Griswold. On my list someday, the next footage I'll send you probably won't be on public YouTube. No, that's fine. I would never post anyone's footage on YouTube. Mike, why don't you use 1860? I don't know. I have some for other things that I use. My flashlight, some of them use them. I don't know. I just saw these and I saw the milliamps and thought I'd give them a try. I already had the project box, so I just figured I'd give them a shot. This is the Arriflex 16 ST. It sports a 3-lens turret. They all come with a 3-lens turret as far as I know. There may have been a modification by Arriflex that they did just put a single lens mount on. If I'm thinking correctly, I think there was one. Chevy Chase, super nice. Yeah, my brother said he was super nice, Mike. Said he was so down to earth. He met him at a place in California, in Los Angeles, called the Magic Castle. My brother performs there sometimes. And he was there, and he said he was just super down to earth. He loved talking about his movies, loved talking about quoting different movies and whatnot. So it was refreshing. I've never met him, but my brother has. You know what I want to do? I want to talk about, first of all, we're going to go back and forth a little bit. Can you guys see the CP-16 over here? Probably not. Because there are some major differences between these guys. Can you see him now? See him down there? I can't really put it up here because I just don't have enough room. I can put my list right there. Maybe I can scoot my coffee over. Let me tell you the main difference between these two cameras. I'm going to tell you the major difference. There it is, Mike. The major difference between these two cameras. Does anybody know before I say it? Maybe the most important difference. The most important difference is crystal controlled motor, wild motor. Table's gonna collapse, Mola. Yeah, you're right. I think I missed something by you, Mola. Did I? Look like I joined at just the right time. I guess I didn't miss the comparison. No, you did not. The Arri 16 is in the Hall of Fame of cameras after being a guest at the Fablemans. I guess the footage on the beach included in the film is done with that camera. Might be, or am I wrong about that? I do not know. I don't know, Ramiro. Is 2 Arri 16mm mags for $45 good? Yeah, that's a good price as long as they're working, especially if one of them has the torque motor on it. I kind of want to buy 2 that is on auction tomorrow, and both have been owned by Sweden's national TV station. That's a good deal. I stayed in the Magic Castle Hotel once. It was great to see a load of hammered magicians late at night up by the pool playing Guitar Hero. Russell, you're in, are you in the UK? I can't remember. I think you're over there. Table, yeah. Rarus is here. Last House on the Dead End of the Street was shut. Yeah, it was. That's a pretty fun movie, too. So the biggest difference is this is a crystal controlled motor. Second biggest difference, this one is very quiet. This one is very, very, very loud. I'm going to show you the comparison in 1 second here. We're going to turn them both on, and I think you guys will be able to hear the difference, hopefully. If not, you can refer back to the videos I did. I do that in my videos. London, UK. Okay, you are. Oh, Rarus, you're in the UK also. Russell, yes, UK. Came over for a week, West Hollywood for work. Okay. My brother, the magician, goes to London and the UK a lot. He performs over there a lot. Both mags have the motors. Bonnie, that's a really good deal then. Living Naughty, that's my my brother Jimmy. Everyone say hello, Jimmy. Hey, buddy. Certain exposures. Filmboy24, are we allowed to share links in here if there's a 16mm black and white short movie on YouTube that everyone here would really appreciate, technically shamefully underwatched? I think the link sharing is turned off during the live stream. I think you can share it after it's been posted, exposures. I think so. Mike is here. Hello, my friend. I'm in Sweden, but visited London a few months ago. I want to go over there. I really do. Hey to all Mikes, and I know there's a lot of Mikes in here. Oh, screw the rules. Link away. I don't think it'll let you post a link. You can try, but I don't know if it's set to post links. The director also made a second video talking about his experience shooting Super-16 for the first time. Really enjoyable watch. Shocking. What can you post the name of it? Post the name of it, and then we can look it up on YouTube. If it won't let you post the link, try it. It's so cool, but he died into. Oh no. I'll keep an eye out for the link later. Oh yes, 2 of my favorite 16mm cameras on the table. Yes, I love these cameras. And you know what? They each have their own specific use. They really are designed for well, they were designed initially for the same thing, but kind of. But you'll see in a second. So they're wildly different in design. They both take 400 feet of movie film. We all know what a 400-foot roll of film looks like. This one, the Arriflex, is lovely because you can also run it without the magazine on top. Now, if you use the magazine, you have to use a separate motor. This is a motor right here. This piece right here snaps onto the side of the magazine and locks in with these little locks right here. There's one here and there's one here. I'm not going to take it off, but it's simply you just loosen these and it pops off. You put it back on. It makes contact here and it makes contact inside here when you put the motor on. Everything feeds off of the same 8.4 volt battery. 2 motors, 1 battery. Drawback? Maybe. Because I think it drains the battery quicker. Well, it's going to drain the battery quicker anyway because there's a bigger draw on the motor and on the camera, on the motor battery itself because of the 2 motors when you're using the magazine. Nonetheless, it still works just fine if you got a good, strong, charged battery. One thing of quick note, when you're done filming each shot, you do want to wind this in the counterclockwise position, this back roller. This is the take-up side. You just want to turn it a little bit to sort of catch the film. When you stop, that'll roll for a second, just a second. There'll be like, you know, an inch or 2 of film that will be slack inside there. So a lot of times you want to just roll that just a little bit to tighten it back up, and you're good to go. This one, the CP-16, you have to have the magazine attached to shoot with it. Some people say you can only shoot 400-foot mags with this camera. Of course, that's not true. Or 400-foot rolls of film. You can put 100 feet of film inside the magazine, and I've done that. I did that in the review video. You just can't take the magazine off and shoot with it because there's no internal loading of this camera. I'm going to show you the inside of both of these in 1 second. But you cannot load this camera with the magazine off. Well, you can thread it, I guess, with the magazine off, but you can't run it. Always love the form factor of the CP-16 because you could shoulder it nicely. Yes, you can, and you really can't this one. British Airways sale for flight to the UK. Sadly, I still can't afford to go for international Beetle Week in August. I have access to an SR2 through work, which is a great perk. I'd love to have an SR2. Just post the title here and we can search for it. Yeah, just put the title there. After stream in, I have no affiliation, by the way. I just linked it. I think you will too. Oh, you just liked it, not linked it. Yeah, the normal Arriflex uses a normal 30-foot roll. And you usually see it without the big magazine. You mean 30, you need 30 meters, Mike. I know what you mean. Love the modular concept. The camera grows with your needs. It does. There is a Hasselblad up for auction here in Sweden for 30 Swedish crowns, or about 3,000, and ends in woof. Woof. A little too rich for my blood right now. An X-Pan. What's an X-Pan, Mola? Still camera. That is Or maybe you're talking to Bonnie, I don't know. All right. This is a non-reflex camera right here. This is the Cinema Products CP-16A. Cinema Products also made a CP-16R, which is reflex. A lot of people like the reflex better, and I can see why, because you can really interchange the lenses. It has the CP mount. It's a kind of a funky mount, but you can interchange lenses much easier. This camera, you have to use the dog leg lens, which in theory kind of gives it a reflex, because you really are looking through exactly and seeing what the lens is seeing. There's no, like, you know, the old Kodak Brownie camera, you know, the old cameras with the, or any of the old, you know, non-reflex cameras where you're not actually seeing through the lens. This one you are seeing through the lens. I like this non-reflex camera. There's a little bit, there's a little less that can go wrong with it. There's a resistor or a battery inside the reflex ones that likes to explode and leak all over the circuit board. There's no such battery inside this camera in the non-reflex ones, which I like. These are relatively easy to work on and change the belts in. My buddy Travis and I, who doesn't seem to be here, we've kind of messed around with his a little bit, and we've taken it apart and we replaced all the belts in it and kind of lubed it up a little bit and got it running just fine. We even fixed the hand grip. So these are a little bit easier to work on than these. I don't know that I would want to take one of these apart, although you can. I know Do-All, I think in New Jersey or New York, they service both of these cameras, and I would highly recommend getting them serviced. Neither of mine have been serviced. So interchangeability on lenses, very scant on the CP-16A. They typically employ the, you like that? Employ the 12 by 120 ingenue lens. Some had the 9.5 by 57, which is a very, very nice little wide lens. They also was the 10 to 100 millimeter ingenue. So you can change these out. You can also use the, I don't remember the name, the Switar, I think, or I can't remember which lenses they are, the big shiny silver ones. As long as they have the dog leg and they fit this mount, it should work just fine. With the Arriflex, it has the 3-lens turret, and typically you want to use 3 prime lenses on here. Well, that's what I have right now. They all got little caps on them. And typically you're going to have probably the 10, the 25, and the 50 millimeter. You may have, like me, I have the 10, the 16, and the 50. I do not have a 25 millimeter lens. If you have one you want to send me for free, please feel free. Feel free. There's the 16 millimeter. There is the 10 millimeter. And there is the 50 millimeter. These are typically Schneider-Kreuznach lenses, which are really, really good, solid cine lenses. You can also put, this is an Arri standard mount. You can also put Arri, any Android mount, any Arri standard mount zoom lenses on here as well. Ingenue has a standard lens that will fit on here. So you could use the Ingenue standard lenses, Arri standard mount lenses on here. I just don't have one. And I actually prefer, there's a lot less element going on, but I prefer these prime lenses to the zoom lenses. But to each their own. IOM is here. Alright, where am I at? I may just buy an Arri S for that 1900 then, unless I can find a CP-16 for about the same. Mike, these CP-16s are not that expensive. In fact, I would venture to say you could pick up a good CP-16 for cheaper than the Arri 16S. That they are relatively comparable in price. CP-16 or Arri 16, either one will be a gold camera along with a nice Beaulieu or Canon 1014 XLS and especially a Bauer. Yeah, I know why you want a Bauer. Shot my second experimental film with CP-16 back in the day. Needed it for the longer takes than trusty Bolex. Great camera. Yes. Yes, Bolexes are great, but unless you got one of the super high ends, the EM or one of those with the motors, or you use the BST motor on some of the other ones, they are hand cranked, so they only run for about 30 seconds. SR2 film reel compartments next to each other, fit the Mickey Mouse ears, right? Yes, they go in the back, Mike, on the SR2. Yeah, that was for Bonnie. 3K sounds like it's. 35 millimeter. Hasselblad X-Pan shoots panoramic 35. Oh, nice. Really expensive ghost. Oh, well then that's a great price then. I've exercised restraint by not buying more 16 millimeter gear for almost a week. Yay, you, Mike. You're right. In September/October, I was in North Carolina and shot so much 16 millimeter on my K3 and Ultramax on my. Oh, nice. Ended up having my entire. What is that? Carry-on, 15 pounds of film. Oh, carry-on, duh. Film. The airports were awesome with. Oh, good. Have you gotten any of it developed at all, Lyle? What is that? Rear lens mount is proprietary as well. Yes. Arri. Oh, the Arri lens mount. Yes, it is proprietary. Still wish I had a K3 since I have a lot of M42 screw mount lenses. Yeah, I have a few. I've shot some of them with my K3. Some are iffy and some, I don't know. There's one over there I still want to try. At airports, I've always been denied hand checks. The only way to do it for films that are 1600 ISO and faster, which is like almost none. Yeah, usually you have no problem with slower speed film. From my Porta Pack Sony machine. Get it! I'm not sure if I told y'all. The man that made the Rockhopper 16mm camera is planning to set up a... Oh, really? Interesting. Not for 16. What, just for 35? There's your new lens, huh? So they are compatible with the bowling cameras too, and vice... Yeah, well, Ingenue has C-mount too, I'm pretty sure, Mike. Kreutzner. Ah, thank you, Christian. I don't know. I'm terrible. I'm sorry I butcher such beautiful languages. I looked at CP-16 at one point. I love the CP-16. And like I say, these are definitely not intended for the same use, especially in today's world. They were both news gathering cameras back in the 70s. Not anymore. They're definitely serve different purposes now. eBay and was listed as broken. Got to keep an eye out. They pop up. Good thing to know. Do you have a preference between the two? The two cameras. Yes. My preference. I mean, I would always take this camera, the Arriflex. but I'd hate to not have this one. I got a shot of my grandma watching you. That's awesome, radios. Lena B just did a crazy involved airport x-ray test with multiple films. Worth a look. How did it come out, certain? I told her you were going to develop the footage. Okay, good. Airport in France screwed up my 816 and 3200 film. Promised a hand check, but looked me in the eye as they... It's awful when they tell you and then do... Yeah, I mean, you almost want to... Well, what can you do? Just gives the... Oh, thank you. Giving the stream a thumbs up. Arri versus CP. I will take the Arriflex probably all the time. She was like, uh-huh. Yeah, she's 90. Jeffrey, Mike, do you have any samples of both cameras online? I do. They're kind of old, though. I want to do more videos with these two. In fact, I want to do a comparison with these two. I would love to do one roll of 100-foot film and switch it in between cameras. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to unload a 100-foot load out of either camera. It's much easier in this one, but because then I can just process the same 100 feet at once. Filmboy24, he's setting up rentals for 65mm. Wow. And Super 8. Super 8 looks insanely good on the camera. His team built. I got a hold of one of the Super 8 cameras and I would love to see one of those. Airport. Oh, I hate when they do that at the airport. She developed dozens of film rolls. and I'm not sure if she... Okay, alright, well, it would be nice to know when she's done. Yes, I'll be watching for that video. I think I'm subscribed to you. Shot, not show. Fun fact, before the live started, there were around 3 searches for the CP-16, but after you started, there have been 6. Oh, that's awesome. I used my 814 instead of my 1218 because I love the 814. So, let me show you guys how long we've been going here. 45 minutes already? Let me show you guys the differences. I do have, these are non-synchronous motors, and I didn't bring my variable speed motor over here. Just take my word for it. I'm going to use one of my packs that I built, and I'm going to start these cameras. I know everybody says you shouldn't run them without film, but I'm a rebel. If you buy an Aeroflex 16S, tip of the day, unless it's set up with the modified, with the 4-pin XLR, it would be up here. Unless it's been modified, then you're going to want to make sure it comes with the power cable. These are extremely difficult to source, extremely difficult. You can make one kind of hokey out of little connectors, but they're very difficult to find. I made sure mine came with one. My camera was in mint condition when I bought it, and it runs beautifully. I probably should get it serviced just to make sure, because, you know, these things start to dry up a little bit. Since I wanted to compare these as close as I could, let me tell you the weights. This camera, and I got my notes down here and I wrote down, the CP-16, no film, but with everything, the lens, the magazine, and the battery, comes in at around 16.25 pounds. That's heavy. For those of you that do not use that system of weight, it's about 7.3 kilograms. This, outfitted the same way with the 400-foot mag, torque motor, the motor on the back, the cable, and my battery, comes in at about 14.5 pounds complete, which is about 6.5 kilograms. Takes if you take the magazine off and you just shoot inside the camera here, you're down to about 10 pounds, which is pretty ideal, which is about 4.5 kilograms. Russell says, as I said last week, I was going to take my C to Switzerland in a couple of weeks, but I'm still unsure with the, your C. I know there's something to that, but I don't remember. Yeah, talk about difficult to source. Same with the modern battery replacements for the Beaulieu 4008 Super 8. I just bought a Beaulieu 5008. I don't know if it works or not. I got a pretty good deal on it. Should be here tomorrow. Kraftwerk S-rays should only fog the film and mess up the contrast and exposure. If the colors were messed up, maybe the development was wrong. That's good to know. The machine was too strong. They scanned my luggage. Told them the film stock was in there. If any of you go to Finland, don't bring ISO 800 plus film. They pull the same trick flying over the sky. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, why not just tell you? Almost you should be upfront of there should be some sort of standard behind that. Oh, to be exact. Thanks, Bonnie. Bonnie, you're always on top of it. 1,600 feet. None of it processed yet. Sad to say my trip and life have me needing to save. Yeah, it can be tricky. Paylard Bolex C8. Sorry. Oh, you're okay. I got you. I got you. Oh, you hit the asterisk. It's on the same key. I see it. My cousin's kids are being loud. All right, so we're going to plug these in. This camera 8.4 volts, this camera 20 volts. Now, one motor and one battery powers the drive motor and the magazine. This is the battery right here. I'm trying desperately not to knock these cameras off my table. It's a 20 volt. This was resold a long time ago, 2005 to be exact, so it's almost 20 years old, but it still holds a relatively good charge. And it slides in. I'm going to try to show you guys. I really need to get a different setup here because it just slides in right here on the side of the camera. And it snaps in. There's a little lock right here that keeps the battery from from sliding out. There's 2 pins in the back of the camera and 2 little holes in the battery pack, and those pins make contact inside the battery pack. Now hopefully the battery is charged enough to show you. It is. You have a sync light right here on the side of the camera. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that on my camera. There's a little light right here on the side. If the light is on, your camera is not running at a constant sync controlled, crystal controlled speed. If it's off, it means you're good to go. It comes on for a second till it comes up to speed, and now it's off. So the camera is running, and it's very difficult to hear it, though I can hear a little. Can you guys hear it? That's not my air conditioner, that's the camera. All right. That's running at 24 frames per second. Perfectly. I'm going to turn it off. I probably should get it serviced because that'll help a lot with the noise. Now, we are going to, well, I took the battery. Now I'm going to show you the difference in noise. Now this also has a 24 frames per second crystal controlled motor on it right now. This right here is the motor. These pull out. There's a little release over here. Pull out. And I want you guys to hear the difference. And I just plugged my little battery in there. Turn it on. All right, everybody be quiet. Here we go. That's normal. That's the normal sound for these cameras. CP-16. It's running. 16S. So what you think? Mola. My ears. Yes, a humongous difference between the two. Now I've done a couple videos on this camera here, and I did shoot with this motor, and I shot sync sound. In fact, I did it right here in this little office, and it wasn't too bad. I used a lapel mic, and I don't think you could hear the camera too bad, but I think I covered it with blankets and whatnot. But it is not meant for, they did make a blimp for it. It's a big metal contraption that this camera fits inside, and it locks closed, and you got to plug in all kinds of things, and you can run this camera from inside a blimp, and you can't hear it. Now the blimp probably weighs as much as the camera because it's this big metal contraption. I don't have one. It would kind of be neat to have one, but I don't. By the way, is the video lagging at all? Anybody? Camera or jackhammer? Oh, you have a Bolex and it's way louder. Louder than this? You can hear the TV. I'm scrolling back up because I missed a few. Yeah, it's amazing how quiet. So if you're going to do, I know I talk about it a lot. I'd love to shoot a feature film in 16mm. I feel like if I didn't use 16mm, Christian would unsubscribe from my channel. And I would. I agree with him wholeheartedly. 16mm is beautiful, and I would love to shoot it on 16. And if I did, I would primarily use this. I'd probably use both. For MOS scenes, I would probably go here. For all of my dialogue stuff, we would probably have to go here. I have a friend that shot a feature film on this, a zombie movie, on a CP-16 about 20 years ago. The movie's a little goofy, but it came out. The footage looks great. Even the K3 is loud like heck. Yeah, it is. Just for a quick comparison, this is my old K3. Let me wind it and let's crank it. Ugh, come on now. My Wind the Bolex and start it. You know what? Let's do. You guys heard these. Maybe we got a little time. Maybe we'll do a. I'll take the Bolex down and we'll compare the two of them. Now this one's in pretty bad shape. That K3. So you guys get what I'm going through here. Let me show you the insides of these really quick. To take this magazine off, by the way, it's got this little spring on it here. I'm going to unplug the battery. It's got this little spring right here, and you just ring, and this pops back. You got to lift this tab up, and this pops back. Magazine off. Now you can put this little cover right here, kind of in the shape of the magazine, snaps in to cover the port, like so. So you can also shoot just like this. Now you're carrying 10 pounds instead of, 17. To get inside, turn. There's the inside. Beautiful. Very, very easy to load, these cameras, the Arriflex. Very easy. The CP, a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. Because there is so much, there's so many rollers. Those that have CPs feel the pain that I'm talking about. Because there are a lot of rollers in those cameras. Put this down, and we'll put this Arriflex over here. Sorry guys, we're going to try something. I'm going to show you the inside of this real quick. Now this just has, you guys have seen me talk about this. Excuse me, my wife made this cover for this magazine. Just a light, tight kind of cover, which I really enjoy. This uses the belt system for the magazine. See that belt right there? Boing, boing. I'm going to turn the camera on. Now you can see the belt moving. And you can hear it. Probably just barely. You could probably hear my air conditioner over this. Yeah, Mike, I would definitely use both of these. Unsure if you started it. Gordon says, "Why?" Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna. Stream is flawless today. Oh, thank you, Mike. Good. I'm from now on, I'm hardwired in for the internet. Can we hear the CP-16 now? Yeah, it was on, Bonnie. I'll turn it on one more time. I'm going to show you the inside and I'll turn it on. For the inside of this, there's a little lever right here you push down. Oh, you know what? I got to plug my laptop in. I forgot to plug it in. My little screen just came up and said my battery is low on my laptop, so it's plugged in. Okay. So I'm going to open this up, and you really need to move this viewfinder piece out of the way because it hits it right there. I just popped it off. It's okay. Look at the rollers inside that camera. Now, when you start it, and yeah, there's a switch here on the handle, and there's also a main switch on the back of the camera back here, right there. It is really quiet. And I took the sound head out of mine. These would record on mag stock, on magnetic striped 16mm film. And when you close it, it's running right now, Bonnie. That's the CP-16 crystal control, and it has all these buttons on the back. All that stuff on the back is for audio that you just don't use anymore. All this right here, that's to start it right there. And I honestly can't see back there, so I'm not sure. Oh, battery tester, and that right above it, that's just your battery test. You push that in. It's just like checking your battery, your little AA. It's got the little needle. That's all. Oh, we're bright green. All right, so let's set this down. And before we go away, we're going to do something. We're going to take a K3 This is my older one. I have one that's like new that I upgraded to Super 16. But it's not sitting out, so I'm not going to go searching. And we're going to grab the Bolex. Dust it off. This is a Rex 1. An early reflex one with the, you know, not super bright viewfinder. Anyway, this one's ready to go. Let me put them both on about 24 frames per second, which is where that one is. Let's put this one, yes it is, and let's crank it up. And we're going to see the difference in sound for these. Hey, if a feature film like Manos could be shot on B&H 70DR, yeah, I know. If they can shoot feature films on an iPhone, I can do it on 16mm. Wait, I should have said it the other way, right? If they can shoot a feature film on 16, you can certainly do it on an iPhone. You can do that, so yeah, it was just joking around because Bonnie, I know this cameraman who was shooting 70mm IMAX and he was wearing protection for his ears. Oh, really? Certain exposures. Oh, yeah. The actors couldn't hear each other, so he had to lip. That's crazy. Watch behind the scenes. Of note to see how that went. The longer 16mm camera should be extremely quiet. My buddy Travis, that's on here most of the time, he shot some 70mm film at a camp he went to. The Mr. 1200 mags work on the CP-16. Use the same magazine firm. You know, I don't know, Bonnie. They do use the same. They are Mitchell mags, but I don't know if the big ones will work. I don't know if the belts will fit. Should go watch Manos. Everyone should go watch Manos. Is that the movie that... what movie is that, Lyle? Is that the one they were trying to link? Personally, I love the few with audio, without audio anyway. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Chinese kung fu movies. Hey, look out! Here I come. Ooh, who's the director? Looking it up. You could do a Mark Jenkins and just ADR. I know everything. A lot of movies are all ADR. No idea what camera that was. I just love the CP. Very underappreciated. All-in-one beauty. It is. That's what I process. K3. That's what I do. I like your shirt, by the way. Yeah, it's nice to wear this when you're out shooting. I'm using 8mm vintage cam. My wife got me this. Look at the sun. The viewfinder on my right. You can look at the sun, no problem. That's kind of like this one, Barry. It's really hard to see. Things breaking when running. Then I remove the loop formers and they sound great. Yeah, the loop formers are out in both of my K3s. No, Manos was not the movie I was referring, if that's what you meant. Oh. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you for clarifying that. What was I... By the way, really quick, the Arriflex is a pin registered camera. I don't know if you guys, if I said that. It has the pull down claw, but it also has the pin, that holds the film in place for each frame. So it pulls down, and there's a claw that holds it in place as well, pin registered. The CP-16 is not. So in theory, it should be a much steadier image, and I can tell you that it is very steady. But I can also tell you that the CP-16, at least mine, has done really well as far as steady images. The CP is so silent that I imagine there might be the risk of inadvertently... Yeah, you could. Definitely leave it on. I tried doing ADR on my own once. We did ADR. I've done a lot of short films. And we've done ADR on a lot of them. We've had to. I tried, okay, yeah, good ADR is real art. Going to be about the Arri 16, but more about the K3 and the H16. Generally speaking, Filmboy24, if money were an issue, I think you mean were not an issue, would you rather use the Arri or CP? If it were, I would rather use the CP for a feature. If I could only use one, I would use the CP-16 because doing ADR is a pain in the butt. I've done it, so it's just so quiet. It's such a quiet camera. Yeah, if it were, and it is for me, I would probably go with the CP-16. If I'm going to do a feature film on a no or low budget anyway, I'm going to use both probably. Especially if I'm in a time crunch and I can give the Arriflex to somebody to go shoot something while we're shooting something else with the CP. I'm not sure if the Canon Scoopy has pin registration too, but the footage I saw, the Canon, I mean, are just gorgeous. It's the lenses on those Canon cameras are insane. Automated dialogue replacement. Nothing automated about it. Definitely not. All right, here we go, kids. Check this out. I don't think there's film in either one of these. So theoretically, I probably shouldn't let them run too long. But we're going for it. All right, here's the Bolex, everybody. Shh. I'm watching my little sound meter there, and it's peaking. It's hitting around -25. So let's try the K3. That's a little louder. I think the K3 is a little louder. For music videos, it probably doesn't matter. No, you're right. It wouldn't matter for music videos. I would use the Arriflex for a music video. Lucas says, a few days ago about possibly sending... Oh, I responded to that today, Lucas, I believe. You did, and I'm so sorry for not getting to it. It's been crazy the last week. Yes, I responded to that email today, Lucas. Heck yeah, there's a video. And yes, you feel free to send it, and I'm good with everything. My address, Lucas, by the way, my shipping address is on YouTube. Just click About or look in the About section, and there's my P.O. boxes right there. Heck yeah. There's a video on YouTube about MMA fighter that director shot on the Canon. It looks tasty as heck. I like that. Sounds like the SR2 is the best of both worlds. Super quiet and crystal sync like the CP, but pin registered. Yes. I want an Arri 35 BL. They're not as expensive as you might think for the first generation, and they're super quiet. I really do want a 35mm cine camera. I have no way to scan it yet, but I would love to have one. Even the Arri, is it the 2C? They got the big hand grip on the bottom, the battery. Those are relatively inexpensive. They're about the same as the 16S in 35mm though. K3 screeches. Grease me down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hitting, -22. Here's the Bolex. -25. This one is a little tiny bit louder. Sounds like my Jigsaw. It is higher pitched, yeah, that's for sure. I don't have my newer one out, or we would test that as well. You know what? Give me a second. I'll get it. All right, here's my Super 16 one, my K3. I always have such a mess to clean up when I'm done. This one is tougher to turn, to crank, but I think it's because it has not been used nearly as much. But let's see if being new makes any difference, or newer. All right, let's 24. And we're gonna go through them all one more time. So H16, Rec 1. I wonder how the cost per foot compares between Technoscope, 2perf, and Super 16. That's a good question, Remjet. But first you need the good 2perf camera. I'd love to have a 2perf camera. Awesome sound twist. I want an Aton 16mm really bad. I would take one of those over any of the ones I have currently. I just like the look of them. Okay, here's the Bolex H16. You ready? Worn out K3. Newer K3. Still a little louder. It's got a little bit of whiny sound to it. And by the way, I used to have a Frezzolini. I still have the manual for it, Mike. I loved my Frezzolini. It was very similar to the CP-16. Hold them in your hand, otherwise the table. Yeah, it will. All right, so here's the Bolex. We'll do it one more time. Here's the Bolex. Everybody listen up. K3 worn. K3 really nice. I gotta tell you, I'm looking at my sound meter here. These two are very similar as far as pitch goes, as far as the dBs go. This one definitely has some sound to it right here. But overall, I think the Bolex is a tiny, tiny bit quieter. Yeah, the Frezzies are very hard to find. I sold mine, and it worked well, and it was quiet, but it wasn't as quiet as my CP. BBC used Atons a lot. Yeah, I love those Atons. Classic car show, except it's a movie. We get to hear the engines revving. Do you guys want to hear the... Mike will appreciate this. Since we're comparing, let's compare Mike's Flying O. Let's compare the UMIG C16 as far as noise. Alright, now I still have not downloaded the manual for this, but let's just give it a whirl. Where are we at? Okay. Boy, this thing sounds great though. It's loud, like the others, but it sounds great. Woo! I can't wait to use that camera. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm getting there. Not so quiet. No, it's not super quiet. And most of these aren't. None of these, well, none probably, of these old wind-up 16mm are quiet. Thursday for Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, the loudest one so far. Yeah. ASMR channel. Yeah. No, that one sounds like some clippers. I guess with film it'll sound a little different too. Yeah, well, it does. I think it does sound a little different with film in it. Yeah, for sure. Kids, we are an hour and 15 minutes deep, and oh, I got a text from my brother. Yeah, my brother texted me. He was on the stream earlier, and he says, you got to tell people to hit the like button. Hey guys, if you would, do tap that little bing. You know how I do when my, right up there, the little button. Hit the little thumb up button. It's like a guitar pedal shootout, yeah. Oh, brother. Yeah, he better hit the like button too. That's right. Dadgummit. So yeah, so we have to get a bunch of stuff done today. I had a lot of fun. I love going over cameras with you guys. In fact, my mind's still going. Do I have any more wind-up cameras right here near me that we can sound test? But we don't. Other than the magazine cameras, you know, these ones. These are great little cameras too. I love these things. Thank you, Jeffrey. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Oh, I gotta turn it on to run. Look at that. Definitely not quiet. Nothing quiet about this business. Stephen, it is time to remix. All right, kids, listen. Yeah, if you would hit the like button, it does. It helps all the things. YouTube, you guys know what it does. You know I'm not an algorithm guy, but that's what it does. So awesome. Can't wait for next time. Anyways, great to hang with you on here and chat. Filmboy24, always keep the anticipation up for next stream. Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. Should we send MP3 of our camera? Sure. I know you guys will just send MP3s of your chainsaws. Great Thanksgiving to everybody, please. And I will not be here next Sunday. Remember, I said it earlier, but if you missed it, next Sunday is my oldest daughter's birthday. We will be having some fun on that day, so I will not be live streaming, but I'll catch you on the following Sunday. So we have a week off. So kibitz, talk amongst yourselves, and we will see you in 2 Sundays from today. 2 Sundays. 2 Sundays. Always good hanging with everybody. I got such a great... You guys are awesome. Really, you are. Thank you, guys, and I will see all of you 2 Sundays from today. Scouts honor. However you do it. Scouts honor. Thank you, everybody. See you on the next one.